important term in Carl Jungian analysis, represent our collective unconscious. And what is this collective unconscious? So everyone has their own unique personal unconscious made up of suppressed, forgotten memories, traumas, etc. This collective unconscious is universal, it predates the individual, it is a repository of religious, spiritual, mythological symbols and experiences, and indeed, the more you get into spirituality, into religion, you'll find that there are all of those common elements among religions, among beliefs, and this is something that Jung called those primary structures archetypes to interpret the idea psychological. He stated that these archetypes were, quote, the conceptual matrices or patterns behind all our religious and mythological concepts and indeed our thinking processes in general, end of quote. And if indeed this concept is correct, if there are archetypal ideas that are literally quote-unquote wired into us, it becomes easier to explain why there are so many similarities between stories over time. So our stories as humankind all across the globe are very similar, and if we apply Jungian analysis, we can better understand that this is due to the presence of those archetypes. But what are those archetypes and how do they manifest themselves? And here comes Carl Jung with literally creating a typology of those archetypes, three very distinctive types of archetypes that have to do with characters. We'll come back briefly to the importance of some of those characters, and you'll realize that this can be applied to Chiellini series. This can also be applied to any one of us and our journey in life. So what are those characters? The hero, the creator, the explorer, the outlaw, the jester, the lover, the caregiver, everyman, innocent, ruler, sage, or magician. There can also be archetypal situations. What are some of those situations? The quest, I'll briefly come back to that, the task, the initiation, the journey, the fall, death and rebirth. And last but not least, there are symbols or associations, and we get to see that the embrace in Chiellini's work is a wonderful symbol, an association, an archetype. And you'll notice that Carl Jung always put together dialectical entities, so the relationship between light and darkness, water and the desert, heaven and hell, for example. Let's start with some very brief analysis of those character archetypes. So you have the hero, and this can apply literally virtually to any individual. So the life of the protagonist can be clearly divided into a series of well-marked adventures, which strongly suggest the ritualistic pattern, and of course all across storytelling and mythology and fairy tales you have those characters who exemplify the archetype to a greater or lesser extent. So Oedipus, Theseus, Romulus, Perseus, Jason, Dionysus, Joseph, Moses, Elijah, Jesus Christ, Siegfried, Arthur, Robin Hood, even in Japanese beliefs, in Celtic beliefs as well. So what are some characters, some more character archetypes? You have this, the scapegoat, the animal or more usually human, whose death is in a public ceremony, expiates some sin that has been visited upon a community. You have the outcast, character, a figure who is banished from a social group, or you can have even the devil figure. You have also subtypes in terms of the woman figure, always in the character archetypes, the Earth Mother, the Temptress, the Platonic ideal. And then the final character archetype is the one of the star-crossed lover, where usually a young man and woman enter an ill-fated love affair which ends tragically in the death of either or both of the lovers. Of course, very famous stories all across literature, even in filmmaking, Romeo and Juliet, West Side Story, Tristan et Isolde, even Tidus and Luna from Final Fantasy X. And then you have the situation archetypes, and I would very much make the parallel between Chiellini's making of digital embracing and the hero's journey. And here you can see a diagram that literally explains some of those important moments in the hero's journey. And again, it's not only the artist's journey, it's also any person's journey. You can see life as a journey, as a wonderful journey, where, of course, the very process is even more important than the final destination, like in Cavafy's Ithaca poem. So the call to adventure, you have some, very often some supernatural aid, and then you have helpers, mentors coming into the process. You constantly have challenges and temptations all along the hero's journey. And then there is the moment of revelation, and that's an extremely important moment that literally brings transformation, atonement, and so you have a return. And you can see that very often in Carl Jung's theories, the circle plays an important role, right? So think about the circle. The circle is this kind of perfect geometric shape. It has no beginning and no end. And so it's really a very good way of providing an image to some of those extremely thought-provoking situation archetypes that Carl Jung has offered us to read, reread, decipher, and also, of course, most importantly, probably to apply to our own lives. So the quest is a quintessential situation archetype according to Carl Jung. This motif describes the search for someone or some talisman sometimes, which when found and brought back will restore fertility to a wasted land, desolation of which is mirrored by leader's illness or disability. You often have the situation of the task to save the kingdom, and all of those are, of course, extremely strong symbols that you can see, you can find, and you can identify all across civilizations, mythologies, storytellings, spirituality, etc. The initiation, extremely important, of course, situational archetype according to Jung. And ultimately, of course, the journey, and the journey indeed is a great metaphor for life itself. The fall situation can be extremely important. So this archetype describes a descent from a higher to a lower being. The experience involves spiritual defilement and or a loss of innocence and bliss. And you have ultimately this entire idea of death and rebirth, which is extremely important in terms of the cycle of life. And ultimately, you have symbols and associations as this kind of third form of Jungian archetype. The collective unconscious making certain associates between the outside world and psychic experiences. Associations become enduring and are passed from one generation to the next one. And some of the more common archetypal associations are as follows. For example, light and darkness, water and desert, and heaven and hell. And we get to see that in Chiellini's work you have the embrace as the quintessential Jungian archetype or symbol. So after this extremely brief refreshing of our memories about Carl Jungian archetypes, let's focus on Chiellini's starting point, which, as you saw in her exhibition, is this wonderful symbol of the embrace. So to the fingers of hands coming together. And of course, this can be interpreted in a lot of different ways, fascinating ways. As always with powerful art, it is always multi-layered, so you can literally find meaning the more you engage with this art. And I thought that it makes a lot of sense to approach Chiellini's digital embracing series as a Jungian archetype, this relationship between animus and anima. Of course, you have in Taoist philosophy, yin and yang, or you can also interpret in this kind of extremely personal, very meaningful way for any individual, you and I and you. So it literally can be analyzed by using Jungian archetypes. And this is the starting point for this entire body of work. So this extremely powerful image of an embrace. So two hands coming together in an embrace. And it has an extremely meaningful and also multi-layered title, Embrace the Simplicity of a Gesture. And of course, Chiellini is a master of color, a master of form, a master of multi-layered meaning. And so this literally allows us to better appreciate how and why it all started in this entire series of work. And she didn't only do it in 2D, she even did it in 3D, and you can see in the exhibition this wonderful juxtaposition and comparison between the 3D Petite Embrace sculpture in acrylic and resin on clay. It's a relatively small scale sculpture, and of course the relationship between the 3D and the 2D painting. And so it makes a lot of sense to literally start from the very beginning, what Chiellini likes to call the donor piece. And of course, with her medical background, this acquires an entirely new significance and meaning. So the donor piece is the starting point for each one of the sub-series of the digital embracing body of work. It's a 36 by 36 painting. It's titled Digital Embrace, the Simplicity of a Gesture, representing the fingers of two hands uniting in an embrace. And as I will get to prove tonight, this is really a quintessential Jungian archetype. And if you think about the very adjective digital, the etymology of it is extremely meaningful. So appropriately for this body of work, the etymology of the adjective digital comes from the Latin word digitus, that means finger. And so the initial meaning of digital was pertaining to fingers, right? Counting with fingers. And that was an extremely important, of course, moment for us as humankind to be able to use our hands to count. Right? And of course, ultimately, it ended up meaning using numerical digits, and of course, in our 21st century, entirely new meaning for digital art as well.